All right, guys, welcome back to DVDs, Nuts, and Popcorn. I am your host, Mr. Tight White. Now, the premise of this video is simple. I walked into Goodwill the other day. I saw 11 horror movies on the shelf, neatly placed side by side. All these movies were from around the same time period, early 2000s. It's almost as if someone at Goodwill was a horror movie fan and they placed them all next to each other. Or maybe they came in the same bundle and they came out the back and someone just kept them together. I don't know. But normally I would not pick up 99% of these movies. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm in a rush. I have no time to research these. And then a thought occurred to me. That'd be a cool idea from a video. Pick up 11 movies that you'd have never picked up before and watch them, marathon them this weekend. And then on Sunday, review those movies at the end of this video. So that's what we're going to do. I also got two packages, one from Retro Tiburon, one from Ty Lord. And then I also purchased something off an Amazon that I want to show you guys. I'm really excited about this. A TV series from the 80s that I'm super nostalgic about. It's similar to The Twilight Zone. That's the only hint that I'm going to give you. It's one of my favorite series of all time. So yeah, that's it. Now, let's go to Goodwill and see which 11 horror movies that I'm going to roll the dice on, guys, and see if we can find some untapped greatness in a few of these movies. Let's do it.
peed in my panties, which would suck because I'm not wearing any.
All right, guys, welcome to the recap portion of the video. We're going to do a little bit different. Get out of the car here, have a different backdrop. Now, I kind of bit off a little more than I can chew because I had plans this weekend, but I almost watched every minute of every one of these movies. I mentioned 11 before. It's actually 10 movies. The only movie that I did not watch 100% of, I watched about an hour of this movie, is Rancid, which is okay because this is not a horror movie. That title would lead you to believe it's a horror movie, but it's not a horror movie. Basically, this guy goes to his class reunion and sees a girl that he used to be in love with. They used to be an item. She's married now to this crazy millionaire. They end up having a love affair, and sooner or later things lead to the main guy having to kill the husband. But at that point in the movie, you don't know if it was self-defense or what is going on. The guy in this movie, I don't know what his real name is, but he makes a young Brad Pitt look like Sloth from Goonies. Yeah, pretty motherfucker. So we're 0 for 1 right now, guys. We're looking for some gems in these 10 movies. Next up to bat, we have, if I can keep these movies from falling all over the place, Sleepover Nightmare. Yes, the quintessential Dollar Tree type of horror movie cover right there. Could not get any more piss poor than that cover. Okay, so this is the true definition of, or dictionary definition of a bad B horror movie, guys. This, I would guesstimate that the budget of this movie was probably $2,000, if not less. And I'm not going to lie, the first 30 minutes of this movie, I was totally into it. I was laughing. There's some really funny scenes to it. But then when it gets to the point where the guy breaks out of the insane asylum and starts picking everybody off one by one, the kills are kind of generic, and they use way too much CGI in the movie. It's like, if you're going to be a really good, so bad it's good horror movie, a B horror movie, you really need to use practical effects. So did not like the fact that they used a lot of CGI in this. There is one cool scene, you see that old Camaro right there, where he runs over one of the guys and he flips over the car. I thought that was really well done. And I just wish there was more of that stuff instead of the lazy CGI. Shoestring budget, Sleepover Nightmare. I guess they were trying to be like, what's the movie called? Not Sleepover Massacre, Slumber Party Massacre. Kind of a ripoff to that. The guy looks crazy with the hat. He's not terrible in the movie. He's a little bit spooky, but it just does not work. We are 0 for 2, guys, on Goodwill horror movies here. Next up here, we have a 2017. This is presented by Danger After Dark. And there's going to be another movie that's on this page right here that we're going to talk about later in this video that's also presented by Danger After Dark. So we have, this is a British movie, if I remember correctly, called Summer Scars. And for what it is, it's supposed to be this, it's not really a bad movie, guys, but it's very, very underwhelming for a movie that's supposed to be shocking. It's one of those movies where, you know, this older guy right here is making the kids do very, you know, stuff that he shouldn't be doing, making them take their clothes off and just bullying them and treating them like shit and holding them hostage. And I mean, this is something that, like, if PBS had a rated R service, this would be something that came on PBS after midnight, I guess. It's just not shocking enough for all the movies that I've seen. It falls short of what it's trying to achieve, I think. Again, not a bad movie, but not shelf-worthy for me. And we are 0 for 3 now. Next up here, I didn't write any notes on this. This is a total student film. It's about this guy is trying to get this party together, right? He's a real cheesy character. I actually didn't mind him in the movie. And he's got this new drug that ends up being this drug they used to use in medieval times. And it turns you into this ravenous person who craves blood. I don't think there's anything like that ever really happened, but they try to come up with this story about medieval times. And when you take this drug, you start wanting to eat people's flesh like you're a zombie, but more like a vampire. Basically you're going after people's blood, but you don't grow fangs or anything like that. So they give all these people this drug at the party, and then all these people turn into these vampirous, you know, creatures trying to kill everybody. It doesn't work. It's not good. And yeah, side effects. We're 0 for 4, guys. Just what we thought at the beginning of the video. It's not over, though. We're still could be a breakthrough here. Next up, we have, in the slippity slip cover, we have shadow puppets. Now, first off, I just want to say that I am a huge fan of the PS1 game Heart of Darkness and the PS2 game Ico, which both have shadow creatures in it. So this movie does have that working from the jump. The only problem is this movie sucks. Like, so the shadow creature at the beginning, he's like forms on the wall, and then he shoots out like tentacles and blows through a guy's chest. That part I was perfectly fine with. But then when he starts flowing through the facility, he looks really cartoonish and just is not scary at all. It's got the most generic characters in it. It goes nowhere. It's such a drag of a movie. It's so slow. The pacing is terrible. And it's got Tony Todd in it. I mean, Tony Todd, is there any person in movie history, well, I'm sure there is, but in modern day, is there anybody that's more typecast than Tony Todd? Even in this movie, you feel like you're dealing with the guy from Candyman. I think it's his voice. Like, he needs to be able to alter his voice in some way. You know, like British people do when they act like they're Americans and take all their roles. Can he do that? Can he do like a British voice or something? Because I just feel like I'm watching the guy from Candyman every time. He's all right in the movie, you know, nothing special. He does what he does. I mean, he's not really the problem in the movie. It's everything else. It's just this is one of those movies, like, I watched the whole movie, but I'm so detached from what was going on because it was so bad that I don't even remember why they were trapped in this facility, why they woke up in these padded cells, why they did not know where they were from, what their names were. I'm sure they revealed it at one point, and it just went right over my head because it was so boring. Shadow puppets, guys. And by the way, if my neighbor called me and said that her kids were going to do a shadow puppet show for me, it probably would be better than this. All right, now we're 0 for 5. It is looking bad, guys. It is looking abysmal. All right, this is probably not shelf-worthy, guys, but this is not a bad movie. So, Anna's Eve. Now, this is a 2004 release. I honestly went into this movie with negative expectations, guys. I was ready to bail out after 10 to 15 minutes and just tell you guys it's unwatchable. It was not bad at all. There was an inappropriate sex scene in this movie where this girl finds her best friend dead. And like literally 5 minutes later, she's having sex with a police officer investigating the case. It is so hilarious. But anyway, this lady in the front here is a social worker, and she goes by to check on one of her social worker cases. And the son of the mother that she's checking on is just diced up with a friggin' butcher knife, dead, chopped into little pieces, and the mother has disappeared. So these two cops, which I actually like in the movie, these buddy cops, I wish they would have showed more of their characters and kind of went off, because they were kind of funny together. I wish they would have been more comedic with the movie. But their character, those two cops, get this psychic lady to help them with the case. And the next thing you know, she's starting to see visions of the dead kid, and I think she starts seeing these ghostly visions and stuff. And yeah, man, I mean, the story's okay. It has a really good twist at the end of the movie. This is something I could probably recommend to you guys, but just not for me, not for my collection. It's not going to go on the shelf because it's not something it's not something I want to see again, but it was a decent movie for sure. Not bad at all. And that is a Creep FX movie. And I think we're going to show another Creep FX movie soon, if we haven't already. Let me see. Actually, no, that wasn't it. I thought Side Effects. Yeah, Side Effects was a Creep FX movie. All right, guys, so everything else I'm going to show you is shelf worthy. I'll just go ahead and let you guys know. I'll go ahead and spoil it. But to what extent, let's talk about. So we have Sinjanor here, which is a sci-fi. I would consider it sci-fi horror. I will admit, this is a pretty bad movie just from the jump here, guys. But it has David Gale from Reanimator in it, and he's fucking amazing. So, and also the Sinjanor creatures look pretty decent. I think it's just people running around in rubber suits. But it's done well, and there's a variety of different Sinjanor characters, which in the beginning, I think there's only 1 or 2, and then there's like 4 or 5 different ones by the middle of the movie, which I think is pretty badass. And man, David Gale's character in this movie is so fucking over the top. If you don't remember, David Gale's from Reanimator. The most famous scene in Reanimator is probably the doctor's head that's cut off. That's David Gale, who's talking after he's dead with the chopped off head. He's got the paperwork with it, with all the chapters and stuff. This is an elite entertainment film. And basically the premise of this is David Gale's character is the CEO of a company. One of the guys that works for him has created these creatures to fight in the military. They're supposed to be indestructible. And somebody that works for the CEO of the company, David Gale's character, some of the workers are trying to sabotage him, led by this one woman who's kind of treating the other guy, one of the other guys like a puppet, getting him to do bad shit. And that guy lets the Sinjanors out. The Sinjanors go and kill their creator, kind of like Frankenstein. And so they're loose in the facility that this billion dollar corporation that's called Cyberdyne, by the way, which I think is Cyberdyne the name of the Terminator company as well. That'd be too much of a ripoff. It must be something different. But anyway, so these things are running free now. They're killing everybody one by one. It's pretty hilarious. Like I said, man, there's a part in this movie that David Gale's character is wearing a rabbit mask backwards with rabbit ears sticking up. And I swear to God, I thought about Gummo. So I became obsessed with the idea that Gummo showed Sinjanor on TV during the movie, which was not true at all. So I spent the next 2 hours, or however long Gummo is, watching Gummo, when I didn't even want to watch Gummo, just to see if this was in the fucking movie, and it wasn't. Total waste of time. If it was in the movie, this would be an epic fucking film. It would have been far better than it is, just because if it was in Gummo, it would have been incredible. But it's not. It's a bad movie, but David Gale is incredible in it. I mean, I say incredible. He is so over the top. It is disturbing. Like, I might even show like a scene from the movie right now. If not, you got to go out and check this one out. Sinjanor. It's definitely earned a spot on my shelf, guys. What can I say? All right, I was hitting a brick wall with watching movies, and I had too much to drink as well when I got to this movie. I barely finished this movie last night, Salvage. Now, this is a 2006 film. And by the way, this is Happy Death Day before Happy Death Day. But there's nothing happy about this movie. It could be called Sad Death Day. It also has a totally original twist to it that really separates itself from that Groundhog formula. So in this movie, this chick works at a gas station. By the way, I love rest stop movies and I love gas station horror. So it has a little bit of gas station horror in it. And but I watched this movie and I didn't understand it, to be honest with you. It might have been the beer. It might have been the fact that I was tired. But I watched a review after I watched this movie that explained the ending to me. And once I understood the ending, I was on board with it. I really like this movie now. But anyway, this chick right here, she works at a gas station. She gets off at the gas station at the beginning of the movie. Her boyfriend's supposed to pick her up, but this weird character, this real effed up dude is driving her boyfriend's truck saying, "Oh, I work with your boyfriend. He told me to go pick you up." And she gets in the car unwillingly. And the next thing you know, he's at her house, drops her off. She runs in the house. It's a home invasion. He kills her. And that's where the movie starts off. And then you start seeing the movie repeat itself like Happy Death Day, but it's done differently. And like I said, the ending of it is very original and something that I would never even imagine when I was watching the movie. And again, it's a little bit confusing. I did not mind. Okay, this movie looks like shit. The acting's terrible in it. The girl that plays the girl right there on the cover, I thought she did a decent job in the movie. But yeah, man, this definitely earns a spot on my shelf. And that's the reason why I made this video, is to find a movie that I'm sure no one's seen that's actually a really decent flick, totally original. Check it out, Salvage. All right, finally. All right, next up here, we have another good movie, My Little Eye. So this is a 2002 film. This is a Big Brother style reality TV. You're stuck in a spooky house for 6 months, and if you make it, you get $1 million. I wouldn't say this is a slasher flick, but it's like a semi-slasher flick, I guess you could say. This is basically Halloween Resurrection, without Michael Myers and without Buster Douglas, without what the hell, Buster Rhymes, Buster Douglas, without Buster Rhymes, but it's actually done good. Okay, this is obviously it's a found footage film. They got cameras set up all around the house, just like Halloween Resurrection. But I'm telling you, man, this is a good flick. It's got the actor from Final Destination 3 right there. I don't know if you guys recognize him. And yeah, man, interesting flick. This is another movie that has a really good twist to it that just takes you by storm. I don't know if it takes you by storm, but and I don't even know if it gut punches you, using all these cliche terms, but it actually surprises me. Like, I did not see where this movie was going, and then when it went there, I was like, oh man, I actually like this. So I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to spoil it for you and tell you where it goes, where the movie goes in the last chapter or the third act. But yeah, man, I recommend this movie, man. It's really good, especially if you're into reality TV shows like Big Brother, Survivor, what's another one? Jersey Shore, all those movies that have the cameras in the house and you have to stay there for a certain amount of time. Very well done. Hidden gem right there, My Little Eye. Check it out. All right, the last of those movies, and I'm going to say the best of those movies. I would go as far as to say this is a great movie. So we have Storm. And this is a Swedish film, guys. Now, okay, first off, I just want to say I love the overall look of this film. The movie has a real cool vibe to it as well. The soundtrack, I love the soundtrack. This movie is up to some interpretation. I'm not going to lie to you guys. And here's my interpretation without watching any reviews of it. The main character has some things from his past that he's blacked out due to, trauma. Now, Storm, the Storm movie in parts is a video game, and it's also a comic book. Now, so in the beginning of the movie, there's this group of girls. I think some of them were killed. Only 2 of them survive. And they're trying to capture something from this evil character and his villain friends or whatever. And that thing that he's trying to capture is this small box. And later on in the movie, she delivers the box to our main protagonist in the movie. And it is explained in the movie that this box is full of memories. So my interpretation of this movie is everybody that's in the movie is in his subconscious, okay? And the box will unlock the memories to his past, and the characters, the main evil character, and then you have a main good character, which is a female. The main evil character is a guy, but you don't know which one's evil and which one's good, because that could flip-flop on you. I'm just going to warn you about that. Or it might not. I could be trolling you with that. But anyway, so it's like his subconscious speaking to him. One of them is telling him, open up the box, check out your memories. And the other one is saying, no, he's trying to get the box back, the evil villain character. And he's saying, no, keep on living your life as you're living. She is tricking you and trying to get you to do something that's going to ruin your life. So it's this conundrum that he's dealing with. Man, this thing, I'm telling you, it's beautifully shot. It reminds me of The Matrix so much. It even has like some aspects of even Tron. Again, video game, comic book. It has these scenes in the movie where it explains the story through a comic book sketches, and then the sketches of the comic book blend back into reality of the movie. Man, this movie right here, man, it has one hell of a story. The characters are great in it. Like I said, looks beautiful, sounds great. The soundtrack is amazing. This movie, you have to see this movie. Swedish film called Storm. I'm telling you guys, man, this right here is the reason why I made this video. Danger After Dark presents, and there it is right there. Or no, it's not in this one, but it makes me want to watch some of these other movies because of how good it is. I think I've heard of the Meatball Machine as well. But yeah, man, that is the best flick that I've seen. But again, guys, My Little Eye, check that one out. And if you love cheesy ass shit, you got to check out Sinjanor. And of course, Salvage as well, man. Salvage as well. This is a really good flick. Go lay down. Go lay down. All right, now let's get into the movies that... First of all, let's go with the movies that Retro Tiburon sent me. On Blu-ray here, we have Mel Gibson's Edge of Darkness. Now, I've seen this before. It's been a while. I think this is kind of post his huge career, you know, with the Lethal Weapon films and all like the really big stuff that he was in, and post him directing like a great movie like Apocalypto. And after he was like directing movies, he started playing in these movies where, you know, someone kills someone in his family and he goes after him. He's made quite a few of them. But if I remember correctly, Edge of Darkness was good. And yeah, something I'll actually keep, Mario, and not throw away or give away to somebody. And if you need the code, there it is right there. Because I don't give a shit about codes. But yeah, thank you for that, Retro Tiburon. Next up, we have a movie called Takers. I know nothing about this movie, guys. It says, as cool as Ocean's 11. Well, I don't really like Ocean's 11, so that's not saying much to me. Looks like this might have been a rental at one point. But yeah, it's got our boy Idris Elba. We always talk about him in our stream, saying that he would be a good James Bond, which I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Looks like it has some decent actors in there. Paul Walker's in there. Rest in peace, Paul Walker. I'm getting sick and tired of seeing T.I. in movies. Get the hell out of movies, please. Stop making movies. And it's got our boy Matt Dillon in there as well. So yeah, man, a movie that I've never seen. I don't even think I've heard of this movie. The best plot and cast assembled since American Gangster. All right, I have to give that one a look. See if it's shelf worthy. If not, then I'll send it to one of the other guys. All right, I have no clue what the hell this is. I think Mario goes to horror, not horror shows, but horror, you know, when you go meet the director and you meet people from movies and stuff. I don't know why I can't think what it's called. Horror, where you go to, why the fuck can I remember the name of what the horror shows are called? All right, guys, I'm losing my mind after watching all these movies. Horror conventions is what I'm trying to say. So this, what does it say? Terror Beyond Imagination. Damon Packard's Reflections of Evil. Now it says Deluxe 20th Anniversary Blu-ray Edition, but this looks like a bootleg as hell. I don't know if he bought this from Cavender's, Boot City. But yeah, this is definitely bootleg. Reflections of Evil. It's like stamped on there, and it says limited or deluxe 20th anniversary edition. It has a sign. Yeah, he definitely got this from a convention, I would think, or ordered it off a special website. But this is bootleg for sure, but could be something cool, actually. Again, I don't know anything about it. I know that I don't know if this is just in a Blu-ray case, and this, I'd be able to tell by looking at the bottom, right? Oh, that could, yeah, actually that is Blu-ray. Actually, it's a cool looking Blu-ray with that outer section right there, that outer ring. That actually looks pretty cool. So that is a Blu-ray. So probably this is a bootleg Blu-ray, and they have the DVD of it. I think he was mentioning in the chat that the DVD's worth like 40, 30, 40, 50 bucks or whatever. So probably is out of print. So yeah, don't know anything about this. Let me know in the comments below if you guys know, if you've seen this movie, if you know anything about it. All right, now, next up here, this is really cool, man. He hooked me the hell up. In the last video, I showed that, actually, it's the same movies as this, the same 4 movies, but on DVD. He hooks me up with the Blu-ray of this. This is super cool, man. So on this, we have the, it's a Miramax multi-feature of the Hellraiser movies. We have Hellraiser Bloodline, Hellraiser Inferno, Hellraiser Hellseeker, and Hellraiser Hellworld. Really cool, man. I want to say this is 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yeah, I think it's 5 through 8. But that is badass, man. Definitely shelf worthy. And I think I talked about it on the last video. I need to marathon all of these Hellraisers because I don't think I've seen some of the later movies. Probably 2 or 3 of these movies I've not even seen before, which is crazy because I love the Hellraiser franchise. All right, moving on here. I got to do this quick. It's getting late. So Ty Lord sent me another package. Now, he's been helping me out with the Masters of Horror. Every time he finds them at Rasputin's, I think you pronounce it, he sends me 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever he finds. So we have the Washingtonians, or the Washingtonians. And this is from Peter Medek, director of The Changeling and Species 2. And it's got the paperwork in there. A lot of times they come with cards as well. This one doesn't have the cards, but that's all good. But yeah, man, I think I have about 20 of these now, man. I'm getting there, man. I'm starting to collect all of these. It says on here, an over-the-top black comedy. The dialogue is funny, the acting is overt, and the gore is gruesome. Horror.com. So yeah, the Washingtonians. So very cool. And this, I think he asked me in the chat if I wanted this, and I didn't even answer because I didn't really care. But I don't know. I have a ton of factory sealed stuff, so I'll definitely add it to the collection. See, you got that for 50 cents. MLB 07, the show, factory sealed. It's got that little hole in it. I think GameStop was doing that at one time. So yeah, man, very cool. All right, now let's get to the Amazon pickup, and then we'll end the video here. So I got movies to watch. You think I'd be tired of watching movies at this point? So let me know in the comments below what you think, guys, about the horror movies I picked up from Goodwill, and if you think that I did actually good. I think I did pretty decent, man, just picking up 10 random movies. All right, so this has not been released on Blu-ray. It's only on DVD, a series that I grew up with as a child. I was just infatuated with it. I can't remember what time it came on. I really feel like I had to stay up late sometimes to watch it. Maybe I snuck out of bed. I can't remember now. But Tales from the Dark Side, the complete series. Now, the coolest thing that I've learned about this that I did not know. Now, here's something. Okay, so I'm lucky to be my age. I grew up watching reruns. Okay, this is more of my parents' era. The Twilight Zone black and white TV series. But when I was growing up, they were showing reruns of it all the time. So I got to see that. And then I got to see this. And I don't think they ever ran like reruns of this on any TV stations after or on cable. I don't remember them ever doing that, which is very interesting. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below if anybody knows. But I don't remember seeing that when I was an adult. I only seen this series when I was a kid. And then after that, I was lucky enough to see as a young man, as a young adult, I think I was a young adult, Tales from the Crypt on HBO. But this is something that brings me right back to when I was a kid. I absolutely love this Maybe I'll do a little quick review of each of the movies during these Goodwill videos that I'm doing. The only one that I watched so far, and I have a great short, I have a decent long-term memory, but I don't really remember specifically these episodes. I know I'm going to remember them as I watch some of them. So the only one that I watched, so just basically here it is. It's got the gray. Actually, I wish it had. At first, I wish it had art on it, but I kind of like the gray and the silver. It looks pretty dope. But they're all on different discs, man, which I like. And here's the other one. Artwork on that one. These are the same with the gray disc with the chrome. That looks really sweet looking. But anyway, so it has seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's the complete series. I think it's over 200 episodes or something insane. Maybe it's not. I can't read it right now. It's too dark right here. Maybe it's over 100. Maybe I'm saying something crazy here. But anyway, the only one that I've watched so far is, let me see. I think it was called Trick or... Yeah, so season 1, disc 1, Trick or Treat. And I'll just explain that one really quick. So it's got this character in that episode. He's like Scrooge, right? He's trying to get everybody's money in town. He's the banker, and he's just obsessed with money. The same exact character as Scrooge. I'm telling you right now. He even looks like Scrooge. He could have played Scrooge. I mean, he is absolutely a carbon copy of Scrooge. So in the beginning of the movie, he's telling these people that are getting money from him, he sends out like an invitation. Every year he has this party at his house, or he calls it a party, but it's basically, he's got this spooky house, and he's got all these animatronics like bears and monsters and all kinds of crazy shit set up in the house. And he tells everybody that owes him money, if your kid can come trick-or-treating at my house and find your loaner's note, which is the note that he gives everybody, that he has on everybody that says how much money you owe, then you will be clear of your debt if they can find it. But every kid that goes in there gets scared out of his mind and runs out. So everybody fails by towards the end of the video. Like 2 or 3 kids try, but they're unsuccessful. They get super scared. And he's laughing, having a great time. And all of a sudden, knocking at the door is this fucking witch. And if you guys know me, I love witch movies. And this witch is done so perfect, man. She is so evil looking. She is legitimately scary in this movie. She's like floating. Her face looks so fucking perfect. She is so creepy, guys. And she comes in there and fucking kills him, man. It is like, I love the first episode, man. It is so fucking good. I cannot wait to watch all of the episodes. And, man, I remember these creatures, man. Such good. Oh, so this is what I was going to tell you. I did not know this growing up, and I just found this out the other day. This is executive produced. This is basically George A. Romero's baby. This whole series is executive produced by him. I don't know if he directs any episodes. I'm sure he does, but he's definitely a part of the overall process, and I never knew that. And it really makes sense why I liked it so much growing up. Because obviously George A. Romero's a genius. And so really cool to know that. Yeah, man, Tales from the Dark Side, the complete series. Maybe as I watch the episodes, next time I watch 2 or 3 episodes, I'll review those as well. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching the video. Thanks for checking it out. And good luck out there finding whatever physical media that you're looking for. And I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, guys, peace out. Get off me. Oh, yeah.